another layout. So I'm just showing you some of the supplies that I'm going to be using. I had those tags and some Heidi Shine color mist and that stamp set. And here I have my washi tape. This is just some of the washi tape that I like to bring with me on crops, so I have it on two embroidery hoops. And then lastly, I'm going to pull out a page kit that I put together for a crop a couple of years ago. So it's been quite a while since I've put this kit together, and I don't totally remember what my plan was for it. So we're just gonna wing it. Um, I don't I don't know why I put that gray paper with this Amy Tan paper, but I obviously had a reason for it. So I'm just gonna see what happens. So all of the colors, the extra colors that I'm picking, are based off of the hearts in that heart paper. And that paper came, all of these 6x6 papers came from Amy Tangerine. So all of the colors match. And I'm just going to cut a bunch of these labels and those squares out to get some layers and get some of those pops of color. And I'm sort of going for the green, which is a minty green, and then the yellow, which is sort of like a nice sunshine yellow, mustard yellow maybe is what it's called. So I'm just going to cut out a bunch of those labels and try and get enough to balance the colors on both sides. And I have that blue doily, which is a perfect match for the blue hearts, so I really wanted to use that. And then here are just some black and white squares, because the black in that 6x6 piece of paper is so bold, I just thought it needed a couple more pops of black somewhere else. So for the challenge, you don't know about the challenge yet. So this whole layout is inspired by my local scrapbooking group's Scrap Your Stash challenge. So this month's challenge was Sherry's, and she picked a Grab 5 style challenge. So she challenged us to use mist, ephemera, stamps, washi tape, and some sort of shape that's been cut from dies. So I used some blue washi tape. It's like a gingham pattern, and it's really, really subtle, but when I put it on that gray paper, it actually matches the doily really well. So there's my washi tape. I'm going to consider those little tickets and tags, again, that I'm using because I want to bring in that some more of that gray. I'm going to consider those my ephemera. And then later on you'll see the rest of my items. So I had these strips of paper in there, and I know that at one point I did a layout with that gray paper and the papers that those strips came from. And I don't remember if I put those strips in just because I didn't want to lose them, or if I had a plan for them with this layout. So I kind of keep them by, and every once in a while I play with them, but I don't end up actually using them. And for my stamped image, I'm going to use this border off of this stamp set, and that just comes from Close to My Heart, and I think it was a Hostess exclusive actually, but it's just a cute little scalloped stamp set. I'm mad because my paper is a little bit slick, and so I keep sliding, so my stamping is smudged in a few places, but that's okay. It doesn't need to be perfect. And I'm just using a tag so that I don't go off the edge. I just want the stamping to go around that gray paper. And now also in this stamp set is a stamp that says Love It. So I'm going to stamp that in two places. And I'm sort of using this as a way to carry on the border around the paper, but I just wanted some interest where the paper changes. And now to finish that border, I have these little arrows that, again, come from that same stamp set. And I like the way that that turned out. I've never really done anything like that before. Normally I would use my black pen and I would just draw a border around it, but I really like the way that that stamping turned out. So now I have my washi tape, and I have my ephemera, and I have my stamped image. And I can start putting all the layers together. So this is a picture of my mother-in-law when she came at Christmas time for a visit, and my husband, who is not the biggest fan of being in pictures, photobombed it. So it turned out to be kind of a funny picture in the end. But it's very sweet. We love that she comes out at Christmas to visit us. So here I'm just putting a bunch of those layers together. I want to make sure that I sort of spread out all of the colors. The whole time I was thinking that I wanted to use that camera that's down in the bottom. And that is from Amy Tangerine as well, and it was like they're clear stickers. So it's still on its backing, which is why it looks opaque. But eventually I have to take it off of that. So here I'm going to use some of these black and white. I thought I would keep them together, but I really want to spread out the black and white as well. So I'm going to try and build a few layers in behind the picture. And the tags, I picked them because of the gray, but also because the yellow actually matches really well. And the black in that 6x6 paper isn't a true black. It sort of has like a charcoal feel to it. And so does the black on these tags. So I thought that they were a pretty good match. This is a very different type of layout for me. So I was just really playing and having fun and seeing what turned out. So now I'm going to try and get this sticker to work for me, and I thought maybe I could back it on those two pieces of paper, but you can't see it anymore. It's just disappeared. So I'm not going to use it. And I had that little border strip, and I thought maybe I could use that somewhere too. And now I'm back to those cutoffs from the paper, and I'm still thinking there must have been a reason I put those in there. So I'm going to try and figure out how to use them, but they don't make it on. So now I realized that I needed another color. All of the colors I had sort of faded into the background. And so I'm going to look for that sort of, it's a salmon-y red color. It's not a true red, and it's not quite pink. But it just added a color that sort of popped and contrasted. So I need to look for some more of that. And none of the other labels really had that color that was saturated enough to make it stand out. So I'm going to go to one of Amy's paper pads, and I'm going to take that little die with the hearts. And so what I did is I found just a chunk that I cut out of the paper that had that same color in a more saturated way. And then I also cut out a bunch of hearts in a deeper red and in the green. So now I have my washi tape, my ephemera, my stamped image, and my die cut images. 4 out of 5. So I'll just spread those hearts around. And I like the way that the red really pops out. So it draws your eye to each of those little clusters that I made. There we go. And then last is the mist. So of course I'm going to do what I always do. I'm going to sprinkle this all over the page. And this is the Heidi Swapp Color Shine in Tinsel. So it's that really pretty silvery gray color, which is perfect for this layout. And that does it. That is my Grab 5 challenge complete. There are stills at the end. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And I'll talk to you later. Happy scrapping. Bye.